Chelsea's pursuit of Enzo Fernandez throughout the January 2023 transfer window really was one of the stories of this transfer window, because again, Fernandez, off the back of a very good FIFA World Cup campaign in Qatar, which saw him play a key part in Argentina lifting the trophy for the first time in 36 years, was clearly a man in high demand, and Chelsea were very keen to secure his signature and for him to become their midfield linchpin for at least the next decade or so, given he's still only 21 years old. However, at first the transfer attempts were largely rebuffed despite Chelsea's rather public approach at trying to get a deal done. But towards the end of the transfer window, Chelsea realized that there still was a possibility that a deal maybe could be done, and so directed all of their efforts towards getting the deal done, to the point where all of their efforts and all of their manpower was so focused on this deal that they ended up botching a deal that would have seen Hakim Ziyech join PSG on loan because they sent the wrong paperwork, allegedly not once, not twice, but thrice. Anyway, leaving the Ziyech deal aside, we're going to talk about the Fernandez deal, which actually sees him become, there's a lot of money involved here, and there's a lot of excitement too. But what exactly are the numbers behind this transfer? Why is it that, Chelsea chose to act so proactively? And what exactly is it that you could expect from this player going forward? Well, that's what we're here to discuss in this particular video. So without further ado, let's just quickly get down to the finer details of this particular transfer, which has got the whole world of football buzzing and talking. First up, the financials. Now, or rather before the financials, let's just take a look at how it is that Chelsea have been teasing this entire affair. If you're taking a look at their social media, and you'll see this on your full screen in a bit, they haven't actually announced his signature yet, but their Twitter bio is simply a flag of Argentina along with a trophy representing the fact that they're signing an Argentine World Cup winner. And what's more, in the link you can see a link to Enzo Fernandez's Instagram account. So clearly they're being very naughty and very cute with all of this, but you can understand why that's the case. They've secured a very good player. It's a massive deal with a player who has quite clearly a lot of potential. But what exactly are the numbers involved? Because quite frankly, if you're looking at the amount of money that was involved in it, well, it's a lot. In fact, it is 107 million pounds to be precise, and that makes it three things. It makes him the most expensive transfer in the history of British football. This also makes him the second highest January transfer ever, behind Philippe Coutinho, who of course cost Barcelona about 142 million euros. And most importantly, this is the third 100 million euro deal that Benfica have done for any players. The first two before him being João Felix when he was sold to Atletico Madrid, incidentally currently at loan at Chelsea, and of course Darwin Núñez, who currently plays for Liverpool. He was sold to the Merseyside club for exactly 100 million euros. But why? Why exactly this much money for a player who, despite clear potential, was only turned 21? And how exactly did Chelsea approach this, going forward? Because quite frankly, as I said, the story throughout the January month was a bit of a roller coaster, and we're going to go into some of the details behind that. First things first, and this is very important to stress, is that Chelsea paid his full release clause amount. And that is because Chelsea were previously trying to get a deal done for an amount that was lower than his release clause, but Benfica refused to play ball in that regard. In fact, so fraught were the negotiations that there are actually reports out there that Chelsea and Benfica's representatives negotiated for over 20 hours to get all of the paperwork done. So fraught were the details and so intense were the negotiations, which incidentally were led by Chelsea's co-owners Behrad Eghbali and Todd Boehly. Boehly, of course, has been the rather public face of Chelsea's ownership, Clearlake Capital, and quite clearly a lot of this big spending is his idea, because if you see the other clubs he owns, including of course the LA Dodgers in Major League Baseball, they followed a similar template. Heavy spending at first, consolidation later, followed by plenty of trophies. Chelsea fans would doubtless be hoping that that was indeed the case, but again you're left asking yourself, maybe they could have actually gotten them for this much money in the summer transfer window anyway. Well, there's a reason why Chelsea moved this early for him to begin with, and that's what we're going to cover now. So one of the things that is worth noting is that Enzo was hot after, of course, a rather good World Cup performance. But if he had put in a few more good performances with Benfica through the rest of the season, Chelsea reportedly feared, and very correctly so I may add, that there might be a bidding war in the summer months. Now that is of course something that would have been a given, because again, his World Cup performances were fresh in everyone's minds. There would have been a lot of clubs interested in securing him, especially at that price. So Chelsea decided to act first. And the key reason why they chose to do that is because they realized that no other clubs were actually willing to do so in January. Most were waiting for the summer. So they took a proactive approach to things and said, yeah, you know what, we'll go out there and get him, even if it means having to pay his entire release clause. So there's actually a very proactive approach that has been taken by Chelsea with regards to signing Enzo, and obviously it's a signing that a lot of people have been very, very excited about, because again, you saw what it is that he's capable of during the World Cup. You can argue that alongside the likes of Julian Alvarez, Emi Martinez, and of course Leo Messi, Enzo was the key man for Argentina in that FIFA World Cup. That is why he was so highly coveted. That is why Benfica felt they could play hardball and demand the entirety of his release clause to sell him, because they knew that come the summer they could have actually demanded a fee higher than the release clause, especially with multiple clubs involved and a bidding war started. So in essence, very good business by Chelsea, at least in the short term. How the move plays out in the long term is something that we don't really know, but what we do know for sure right now is that Chelsea have signed one of the most exciting young talents in football right now, and he could very well prove to be a sound investment for at least a decade, if not more. But that's just how I feel about all of this. What do you guys think? Well, you can let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon so you know when we're going live or uploading a new video. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Last but not least, download the AajTak app. Thank you all once again for joining us. I hope to see you with us through the remainder of the evening. For now though, goodbye.